Let's take a look at the performance of state-owned enterprises now. You've got Eskom that sits without a CEO. Transnet CEO also recently resigned, and today news of Transnet Freight Rail CEO coming in that she too has resigned. Taking a look at this for us is political analyst Sandile Swana in relation to the performance of the Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan in that portfolio. This as some sectors of society have called for a deeper look into his performance and whether he should still be in his position. We're joined by Sandile Swana, political analyst. Thank you very much, sir, for your time this afternoon. Perhaps let's take a look at this portfolio and maybe you can assess or share with our viewers your reflections of how state-owned entities have been faring in South Africa.
Thank you so much, Dudu, and your listeners. The first thing that I will say is that the last report that points that is specifically focused on the question that you are asking, what has been the actual performance of state-owned enterprises? The last report that I've been able to find was prepared by Alec Ewing when he was Minister of this sector of the state-owned enterprises. Now, that is a long, long time ago. So we are due really a proper report of what has been at least the past 5 years of performance of these state-owned enterprises. Depending who you listen to, there are 700 of them. But coming closer to the headlines that we're dealing with now, the people that are resigning, I think it would be fair for all of us, including Andre de Ruyter, to say that these are people that were put in by the partnership of Cyril Ramaphosa and Pravin Gordhan. Caesar Mzimela, who has just resigned now, with the past 2 hours from what I gather, is 3 years into the position. So people such as Jabu Mabuza had been invited via a phone call to become chairman of Eskom. A matter that was raised in the Zondo Commission to say, how do you select people to become this? And Mabuza said, you don't apply for this position. Basically saying that it's about connections, how you become a chairman of this. So if you want to reduce this thing, the poor performance, startling poor performance, and I'll give you numbers down the road, but the startling poor performance is 95% an issue of HR, an issue of appointing unsuitable board members and unsuitable top executives. And that by the hand of Cyril Ramaphosa and Pravin Gordhan, as well as the Deployment Committee of the African National Congress. It is a big HR problem with devastating financial and economic consequences.
Let's get into the numbers, please, that you cited.
So, the numbers, if you look at the damage that was claimed, for instance, by the shippers, the Minerals Council and so on, they said for their part, they are losing about $1 billion a day because of the failures of the railways, the goods trains, the freight that transports their wares to the ports of South Africa into the international market. Now, if you were to add other sectors into that, my personal estimates would be that we are lying anywhere between 3 billion to 7 billion rands a day lost to the fact that we cannot run these railways properly. And these railways have not run properly basically since the departure of Thabo Mbeki in 2008. I participated in an investment summit in Middleburg in the Mpumalanga province, Nkangala district municipality. At that time, in those days, around probably 2011, somewhere there, they were already, the private sector was already indicating they are ready to invest money into trains, to put their own money and to put their own carriages on the railways and to put money there. And the South African Communist Party, COSATU, and the ANC could not find themselves approving such activities to happen. Till today, it has not yet.
You've cited or you've put down the issues plaguing state-owned enterprises which are failing down to HR and political meddling, for lack of a better expression. And so this political meddling, because board members are appointed irregularly, cadre deployment issues, it then impacts on HR. And so what needs to happen? Is it just about the resignation of Pravin Gordhan? Will that be the silver bullet that sorts out the issue at state-owned enterprises, or not quite yet?
No, the problem is far bigger than Pravin Gordhan. The problem, maybe let's talk about the solution first. The solution now, where we are, lies with the voters, that they cannot continue to vote for the people who have been appointing wrong people to run these state enterprises and costing us a number of billions every day, costing billions a day. This is not a 10 rands loss per day. Now, the issue here is that South Africa has become a gangster state, a mafia state. Within each one, it doesn't matter which business you choose, whether it's Transnet, whether you choose Eskom, whether you choose the water suppliers of this country, municipalities, and so on. In those structures, you have corrupt politicians, you have corrupt business people, and you have criminal syndicates who sabotage existing infrastructure in order to appoint themselves and to appoint their connected companies to run the operation. Even when we talk about privatization today, even when they talk about the privatization of SAA, taking an asset from the state to carefully selected ANC cadres and privatizing that to them, something that belongs to the nation is then taken to people because they have loyalty to a specific political party and perhaps are going to be a conduit of money back into the party. So this is a gangster state, and the center and the head office of that gangsterism is the African National Congress. So voters have a right to vote for the ANC, and they can continue voting for the ANC, knowing that these problems are going to continue.
Thank you very much for your contribution this afternoon. Sandile Swana is a political analyst.